But as you know, about 5 weeks ago, a hurricane hit Puerto Rico, Hurricane Maria, and so that has really turned everything upside down. And so we're really reevaluating where we would serve, and Puerto Rico is in great need. Real quick, just some slides for you to know. Puerto Rico is actually closer to Venezuela than it is the United States. It's been considered the front door of the Caribbean for centuries, and especially in naval times had a real important strategic location as the front door to the Caribbean. This is the path that Hurricane Maria took across the island of Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico had not been hit by a hurricane since 1932, head on. Maria was a Category 4 hurricane with sustained winds of anywhere from 150 to 200 miles per hour. It hit right here above Yabucoa on the southeast corner of the island, and it cut, as you can see, right across the island. If you look at some video, I was going to throw a video in here, but didn't have time. The hurricane itself, she was 3, 4, 5 times bigger than the island of Puerto Rico. So there was not a part of Puerto Rico that wasn't damaged or affected by the hurricane. We serve, our organization, right here where it says 8 a.m., right about in there is some cities called Caguas and Calle. Anybody been to Puerto Rico? Okay, so you usually land in San Juan, and there's a national or a state highway that cuts right down the middle of the island called Highway 52, and it ends up over here in Ponce. So we serve right about here where it says 8 a.m. The hurricane went right over the communities that we serve in. So places we've been to for 5, 6 years are completely different. This is that highway heading down south from San Juan to the southern part of the island. This is right outside of San Juan. All the trees you see that look like matchsticks prior to 5 weeks ago was just a wall of green foliage. So when you would drive down this highway, you were just kind of in this little green tunnel of tropical trees and forest and leaves. And this is what it looks like now. This building, I've never seen before because it sits behind the green foliage. Amazing. It was just, my jaw was just hanging most of the time driving. This is everywhere. I finally stopped noticing broken telephone poles and transformers laying on the ground. This is a short video. This is us driving down a road I've driven down hundreds of times, and you can see lines, debris. They literally just pushed the debris off to the sides weeks ago so that cars could get through. A building that's half down, wires. These are electrical power lines. Thankfully, there's no juice in them. This is somebody's home, and this busted off either off that pole or the next one, and with a transformer just laying. And I'm pretty confident when I go back on Sunday, that will still be right where it's at. The need to clean up and get the power back up is insane. This is typical construction in Puerto Rico. It's a tropical island, so it's never cold, so they don't build wicked, huge, strong roofs. They literally put 2x4s, a cross beam, and they nail some corrugated steel or tin down, and it lasts until a hurricane like this comes through. Again, you can see that all it's got to do is keep the water out, and the hurricane changed all that. This is a place that we actually host groups at, and so looking down to the house right below, this is actually a really nice house without its roof anymore. And this was last week. I've been home about 9 days, so this was last week, 4 weeks after the hurricane. This home came right off the foundation and down the hill. So, crazy. We serve with the city of Calle. This man in the middle, his name is Rolando Ortiz. Rolando is the mayor of Calle. Calle is centrally located on the island. He's been the mayor of Calle for over 20 years. He's the president of the Mayor's Association on the island of Puerto Rico. He is one of the greatest men I've ever met. As soon as the hurricane hit, he took over the baseball stadium. They have a professional baseball team in Calle, and they took it over and made it the emergency command center. And him and his city staff have been working every day since September, I think it was September 20th, I think was when it hit. They've not had a day off. They've just been working every day, meeting the needs of their citizens, providing water, food. They're cooking in the stadium, and there's a line out the door, thousands of meals a day they're serving. He's wearing a Pirates jersey because 2 Pittsburgh Pirates on the professional baseball team in Pittsburgh are from Calle, Puerto Rico. So they chartered 2 full-size planes, 747s, filled them with water and food and donations, and flew him down there. So he's been wearing Pittsburgh Pirate gear ever since. I asked him, do you need help? Kind of a stupid question. I said, but could we bring people, students, faculty, church groups, community groups, families, it doesn't matter. But we don't want to be in your way. And he said, James, please bring them. You won't be in our way. We need hands and feet to help clean up, to canvass neighborhoods, to deliver food and water. I said, you've got a couple pallets of bottled water over there. And he's like, those will be gone in 2 days. Because once people know we have water, they come and need it, and we hand it out. No questions asked. So he said there's just a steady stream of need in terms of water, food, things like that. This is one of his staff. She works in the Office of Service to the Citizens, is the rough translation. Her name is Evelyn. We work alongside her and her staff. And literally she said, you bring people, we'll put them together with our staff, and they'll drive around, they'll deliver water, they'll deliver food. They'll go into neighborhoods, and they will go knock on doors and find out, do you need medicine? Do you need water? Do you need food? She said, we need to canvass neighborhoods that are outside of town that we haven't been able to get to regularly. There are still communities in Puerto Rico that they have not been able to drive to. Because the best example I can give is, think of Ute Pass and you're driving up to Cascade, Green Mountain Falls, but every corner you go around, there's a road that goes up 2 to 3 miles to a little development of 3, 5, 10, 50 houses. There are homes up every crevice of every mountain in Puerto Rico, and they all got trashed by the hurricane. So Evelyn does a great job, and I just tried to call her a minute ago before I pulled up here, and she sent me the voicemail. She's pretty busy. This is a video just showing food distribution monitoring. This is inside the stadium, people waiting to pick up boxes of food. There's a line out the door here of people in line to get in that seating area. This is a chart of their water distribution. So you have a lake, and then you have pumps, big city pumps that pump water into neighborhoods. The green dots are ones that are functioning. The red dots are all neighborhoods where the pumps are down. And so there's no running water. So we stayed at an Airbnb. It was a pretty nice Airbnb for about $30 a night with no running water, no electricity. So we had to have flashlights. And then when we used the toilet, we had to go get a bucket of water out of a rain barrel and come in and flush the toilet. So the guy gave us a discount on a pretty nice Airbnb for 2 nights. But they need to replace or fix all of these pumps in the city. These are the different neighborhoods in their town. Outside of their town is another little community called Jajome, and we've done projects in this community. This is a bridge that goes into the community, and then there's a series of 6 of these bridges. All of the bridges are being overrun by floodwater, because this bridge was built probably 100 years ago with just some drain pipes underneath it that are now clogged with water and debris. So these people, we're on one side, they're over there. There's a number of homes that I could see that were roofless, and they're kind of going, we need help. And so we want to get in there and try to help that community. This is a dry wash bed in this community. But it had rained Saturday and Sunday when we were there, so this is what it's like. It was crazy. So these people are like, I'd love to get home, but I can't cross that bridge. And so we'll get there and do some work. So real quick, this is my information. We work with an organization called Impact Adventure. We take teams of 2, 5, 10, 20, and we go and set you up with people on the ground to help in the community. Our focus has become Puerto Rico, and it will be our focus for probably the next 6 to 18 months. When I left on Sunday a week ago, I grabbed the newspaper and I was reading through it, and there's an article that said preliminary estimates are 250,000 homes have been damaged by Hurricane Maria. So think about that. 250,000 homes on the island have some form of damage, many of them roofs. So my phone number's on here, my email, our website. But if you're interested in helping with Puerto Rico, we've got a team going on Saturday. We've got a team maybe going over Thanksgiving. We've got a team the week after Christmas. And we'll probably do a team or two every month through the spring and into the summer. So if you'd like to grab a handful of Pikes Peak Community College students and say, let's go help in Puerto Rico, there is more than enough work and need there for you to be involved. So real quick, like 2 minutes, any questions? Yes?